What's good? What's good, ladies and gentlemen? It's RFG. I'm back at it today, and I'm here to go over the difference between a promiscuous woman and a promiscuous man. I'm here to go over the huge differences between a promiscuous woman and a promiscuous man. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and get right into this topic. Um, I just want to say that most of the women, or all of the women, in the United States and in Western society in general, um, we have, you know, we have all been lied to. Women have been lied to. Men have been lied to. We have been terribly misled. All right, we were told certain lies, like women are mentally more mature than men. We were taught that in elementary and middle school, and then when we hit the adult life, we see that that is not true at all. You see, and we were also told that women and men are equals on a mental and metaphysical level, and that is false. All right, that's false. We were told by mainstream media sources and mainstream society that men and women are mental and metaphysical equals. We are actually mental and metaphysical opposites. So, physically, mentally, and metaphysically, we are opposites. All right? The yin and the yang. Now, they told us that a woman could have the same amount of sexual partners as a man, and she would not have any negative side effects or any negative effects from that. All right. So, mainstream society wants us to believe that a promiscuous man, a promiscuous woman, uh, is going to be unaffected by it, just like a promiscuous man. And RFG is here to tell you that that shit is a goddamn lie. All right. So let me just start this off by saying, the humanity started out as asexual female deities, asexual female deities. Now, these asexual female deities, known as the Amazons, they lost their ability to procreate asexually. They lost that ability. And when they lost that ability, they lost body mass. They lost the sperm and their bone marrow. They lost that. Okay. And they were now dependent on the male sex to impregnate them for procreation. All right. Now, when the Nomos created the first women, the first, melanated woman that needed a man to impregnate her, when they created that first woman, they made sure to design the woman's genetics to where every time she got pregnant, the pregnancy had to last 9 months. All right. So when the Nomos genetically designed, all right, these melanated women, all right, that needed the man to impregnate them. Okay, when the Nomos created these women, they made sure that they had to have the baby in their stomach for 9 months. Now, why is that significant? That's significant because I want to say the vast majority of men will not want to have any sexual activity with a woman when she's pregnant with another man's baby. I know myself personally, and the vast majority of men are definitely, it's something about that, whether it's physical or metaphysical. We just would rather not engage in sexual activity when a woman is pregnant with another man's child. All right, because men are psychologically territorial, and it's also, a moral issue with a lot of men, and then it's psychological, and because of that, I'll say like over 90% of men will not want to engage in sexual activity with a pregnant woman. So in a way, this was the creator's way of saying that the woman won't be able to have sex with another man for 9 months while she's pregnant. This, in a nutshell, is like the creators of humanity. It's like the nomos, their way of telling the woman, when you're pregnant, you're not going to be able to have sex with any other man for the 9 month duration. Um, so this is like a natural occurrence here that women go through, all right, for 9 months. And for this 9 month duration, the vast majority of men won't even want to engage in sexual activity with her. All right. But the only man who will want to is the man who impregnated her, and that's it. All right. And even after she has birth, the woman has to wait maybe 2 to 3 weeks for her vaginal walls to heal back up before she can have sex. So I'm going to repeat that. Even after birth, the woman's vaginal walls have to wait 2 to 3 weeks to heal back up before she can have sex. So that's another 2 to 3 weeks that she has to wait to have sex. So a woman getting pregnant is close to 10 months. For close to 10 months, the creator is saying that you're going to be monogamous. All right, this is the creator's way of telling women, for at least close to 10 months, you're going to be monogamous. Okay, so let's keep it going. Women also experience something called menstruation. Women experience something called menstruation, which is 3 to 6 days out of every month. 3 to 6 days out of every month. All right. Their vaginal orifice releases blood, releases waste from the blood, from their circulatory system. All right. So their vaginal orifice is bleeding for 3 to 6 months. I mean, no, for 3 to 6 days out of every month. So if you do the math, that's in between 36 and 60 days of the year. That's in between 36 and 60 days of the year when nature again said you're not having sex. You're not having sex with another man. At least you're not. This is nature's way of telling women these are days when you're not having sex. So this is in between 36 and 60 days out of the year when the universe told women these are specific days where you can't have sex, in between 36 and 60 days out of the year. So we have this right here in between 36 and 60 days out of the year. And then if the woman gets pregnant, that's damn near 10 months straight where she can't, where most people aren't going to want to do anything with her. You see what I'm saying? So these are two of nature's ways of showing us clearly that women were never created to have the same amount of sexual partners as men. But let's keep it going. Let's keep it going, shall we? Uh, Hutchinson Center, all right, the University of Seattle, Fred Hutchinson Cancer Research Center. These researchers and scientists conducted a test with 59 random women, with 59 random women, all right, and they found, after testing the blood samples of these women, all right, 63% of these women harbored male microchimerisms in their blood. All right. And these microchimerisms were also in the women's cheek cells, and they were in the women's brains. Okay. These male microchimerisms. Okay. 63% of the 59 women that were tested. Now, what is a microchimerism? A microchimerism is a piece of DNA that is left behind by a man's sperm cell. A microchimerism is a piece of DNA that is left behind it basically falls off of the male sperm. It's a piece of DNA that falls off of the male sperm, and also when the sperm cell dies, it leaves behind a microchimerism, which is a piece of the man's DNA. All right. So I'm just gonna put it to you like this: even if you have protected sex, right? There's gonna be sperm cells that are smaller than the holes in the condom, all right? And they're still gonna seep through the they're still gonna seep through into the vaginal canal. Now, not all sperm cells were designed to impregnate the egg. There's sperm cells that are warrior sperm. There's sperm cells, that look out for, competition or foreign invaders in the woman's womb. Um, there's also, the sperm cells that impregnate the egg. Now, the sperm cells that impregnate the egg, they're much bigger than the warrior sperm. The warrior sperm are somewhat smaller, so a lot of the warrior sperm will be able to seep through the condom. All right, and because of this, even if you have unprotected sex, there's gonna still be a certain portion of sperm cells that seep through into the woman's vaginal canal, and most of the time it's the warrior sperm. The warrior sperm were not meant to impregnate the egg. All right, and these warrior sperm, they leave behind the DNA in the woman's womb, which is called the microchimerisms. All right. Now, what's very funny is Google and YouTube and all these mainstream media outlets and Wikipedia, they're calling this a theory. They're calling this a theory. You see, they're calling this a theory when this is documented fact, proven by scientific experimentation. This is fact proven by scientific, biological, evidence that was found, right, by testing and examining blood under a microscope, under an electron-powered microscope, all right, of over 59 women. Come on now. And you have Google and YouTube trying to shadow ban this information. You also had Snopes. Any goddamn information that Snopes says is fake is actually real. Anything that Snopes says is fake is actually real. All right? All right. So I'm not going to believe Google. I'm not going to believe Wikipedia. I'm not going to believe Snopes. I'm not going to believe mainstream media. I'm going to believe the fucking independent scientific researchers. That's what the fuck I'm going to believe. All right. All right. All right. And they were also, these women, all right, said that they never had an abortion. Okay. So we know that the microchimerisms in their blood was not from a male fetus. All right, because these women who were tested, they didn't, they didn't have a miscarriage or an abortion. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? And this was a totally different man's DNA inside of them. This DNA was not related to their DNA. That's how they found that it was the DNA of the men that they slept with. All right. So you can read up on this article. You know what I'm saying? Read up on it before Google, bans it completely. But this right here proves that women retain the DNA of every man they sleep with, no matter if he wore a condom or not. And that's and this is gonna be, kind of sexually graphic. You know what I'm saying? So, but I'm gonna say it anyway. If a woman goes down on you, and you finish in her mouth, the sperm cells are going to go through her cheek cells because they're going to think that the mouth is a womb. So they're going to go through the cheek cells. In the cheek, they're going to travel up the bloodstream through the cheeks into the head, into the brain. And that's how they're finding these male microchimerisms in the woman's brain, because after the sperm dies, it leaves behind a piece of the DNA, and that DNA stays in the woman's brain. That's how they're finding these microchimerisms in these women's brains. It's because they performed oral sex on a man, and his sperm traveled literally to their brain. All right. All right. See, we're not taught this in school, you see. And now I'm going to break this shit down on a metaphysical level. On a metaphysical level. On a metaphysical level. The woman is the magnetic receiver. The woman is the magnetic receiver. And she is the reflector of energy. So she is the absorber. She's the magnetic absorber and the reflector of energy. The man is the kundalini projector. The man is the kundalini, the organ. Okay, you call it organ, chi, prana, kundalini. The man is the kundalini projector. All right. So we can see this as the sun and the moon. Imagine the moon right here, right by the earth. The sun is going to project, all right, the high kundalini solar flare radiation. You see the creative, the man is the creative force, all right, through kundalini fire. And then the woman, being the moon, is going to magnetically receive that kundalini energy, that spark of life, all right? And she's also going to reflect it, just like the moon. You know how the moon absorbs the sun's light and reflects the sunlight? That's the same way a woman absorbs your energy as a man, and she reflects your energy as a man. No matter if you're high vibrational or if you're low vibrational, the woman is going to absorb your frequency, and she's going to project that. All right. All right. So when you look at this from a metaphysical standpoint, once again, the man is the kundalini projector, the organ projector. You see the prana projector, and the creative force. The woman is the magnetic receiver. The woman is the magnetic receiver, and she is the projector. Now, no. I said that wrong. The woman is the magnetic receiver and the reflector. The man is the kundalini projector. The kundalini projector, the creative force of life. The woman is the magnetic receiver and the reflector. All right. So this is going to be graphic as well, but this is just going to tie into the woman being the magnetic receiver. Women in general are much more sensitive and much more receptive to public opinion and propaganda, media manipulation, and media propaganda. Women are much more susceptible to that because, once again, they are magnetic receivers. All right, it's much harder for them to not be a product of their environment. So I'm going to repeat that. It's much harder for women to not be a product of their environment because they are naturally magnetic receivers. All right, and we can prove this. You know what I'm saying? Because even on a physical level, like. And the fellas out there, you know what I'm talking about. If you are in the act with your woman, all right, and you're in the position where she's on all fours and you're behind her, you, especially with a melanated woman, it it feels like you're being pulled in by a fucking magnetic force. Now I know, yeah, you're gonna laugh, ha 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 ha. It's the fucking truth. You know what I'm saying? People can laugh and say what they want, but it's the goddamn truth. If you get behind a melanated woman, especially a voluptuous melanated woman, and you're in that position, you are literally going to feel that her womb and her vaginal canal are literally a magnetic force. All right, this is what we're not being told in mainstream education systems by mainstream doctors, mainstream biologists. You know what I'm saying? So-called sex gurus, they're not talking about this shit. Okay, because when you look at it from an astrological aspect, men are ruled by the sun and Mars. Men are ruled by the sun and Mars. Women are ruled by the moon and Venus. Women are ruled by the moon and Venus. Men are ruled by the sun and Mars. So we men are the initiators. We are the initiators. All right. We are the projectors of the creative Kundalini life force. And the women are the natural magnetic absorbers and reflectors of our Kundalini life force. All right. All right. And because of this, it's much easier. It's much easier for women to be manipulated and indoctrinated by their environment and by media propaganda. All right. And it's also much easier for women to become sick with their health or for them to get STDs because of this. They are natural magnetic receivers. So they they definitely have to make sure they take care of their health on a consistent basis. You know what I'm saying? Mental health, physical health, and spiritual health. See what I'm saying? Another thing about women, all right? Um, Women, the way the woman's brain is wired, the woman is unable to separate um love from lust. All right. Now I know this, people are gonna be like, "Oh, what is he talking?" No, listen, folks, I'm telling the fucking truth. Women have a very hard time separating love from lust because most women are controlled through their orgasms. Most women are controlled through their orgasms. All right. So a man could be an asshole. A man could be a no good piece of shit. A man could have nothing going for himself in life. You know what I'm saying? No kind of direction, no kind of fucking common sense. But if he's laying the pipe properly in the sack, all right, the woman is going to have a very hard time letting him go. And like I said, you motherfuckers can try to deny this shit all you want. But I got all the documented evidence to back what the fuck I'm saying. All right. So once again, this is the real reason why you have all these women, having these children out of wedlock, having these children and not getting no commitment from the man. It's because the particular man, not only is he laying the pipe on her, he's laying the pipe on, many other different women. And um she, all right, has an endorphin release in the brain after she has the orgasm, all right, and this endorphin release, she knows that she doesn't get this, all right, with the other man that she was with, all right, because women are attracted to high testosterone and a low frequency from a man. And I said this on my Patreon a few months ago. Yeah, a few months ago, I broke this down. Women are attracted to men with high testosterone and a low frequency. All right. They're naturally, and what do I mean by a low frequency? A low frequency just means, not only do you look highly masculine, but you act and you conduct yourself in a way to where if somebody disrespects you, you will defend yourself and defend your honor by any means necessary, even if it means, what I'm saying, being outspoken or defending yourself physically in a physical fight, and not taking shit from anybody. She has to pick up that energy from you in a certain amount of time when she first meets you. All right. And I know it may sound complicated, but it's not, folks. It's the truth. You need high testosterone levels. You need a low frequency, and the low frequency just basically means you will stand up for yourself and defend yourself, no matter who you have to get your point across to, no matter who you have to argue with, no matter who you have to fight and throw hands with. Because remember, arguments and physical fighting is a low frequency. Physical violence and arguing is a low frequency. And you mix that with a high testosterone, um um a handsome face, um you know someone who's really good in bed, and like I said, you're going to get that endorphin release. You see, and this is why we have so many single mothers in the United States. It's because of what the fuck I just said right now. See, we were fed lies by Disney. Oh, the woman wants the knight in shining armor and the guy who gives her everything she wants and whoop-de wop wop wop. And this is exactly why you have women who may be successful financially. They could even be married to a wealthy man. But let that wealthy man start showing signs of being a beta. Let that wealthy man do something to where she doesn't see him as masculine anymore. See what I'm saying? And it's over. You know what I'm saying? A woman will cheat, like I said, with a so-called Pookie and Ray Ray. You know what I'm saying? With women, see, women cannot separate love from lust. This is why we have so many single mothers. Women cannot separate love from lust. And this is why they were never created to have as many sexual partners as men. All right? Because and listen up, fellas. You know what the fuck I'm talking about. All right? Because with us men, we in our brains are wired where we have women that we use just to get our rocks off, just to get a nut. And then we know the difference. We know the difference between a woman who we can give our mind, our body, our soul, our finances, and share our life with, and actually build something with. We know that woman, and we respect that woman, and we love that woman with our hearts. You see what I'm saying? And when our animal side kicks in, we can have sex with another woman without loving that other woman. A man is able to separate love from lust. I'm going to repeat this. And I said, people not going to like what the fuck I'm saying, but it's the truth. We men can separate love from lust. All right. All right. And like I said, this is the truth because folks, like I said, if a woman is in a committed relationship, right? If the man does one thing, just one thing that makes him look non-masculine in her eyes, all right, she will have lost respect for this guy. All kinds of respect that would make her go out and get another man. You see what I'm saying? Men, we don't think like that. We don't think like that. We know damn well, the difference between a wife material and the difference between someone we just use for fun. You see what I'm saying? When our animal instincts kick in. And every man has a higher self and a lower self. So when we're in our higher self, we will always be committed to the woman, you see, that we give our heart to, the woman that we respect, that is a mother to our children, and that is our wife, a woman that has always supported our life decisions and our life mission. Those women are the ones who get the commitment and the true love and the financial support. You see, those are the women that a man does not mind supporting. You see, and we know how to separate that from flat out lust. All right, because yes, and see, I don't think women understand this. I don't. But if you ask any man, he's gonna fucking tell you the same shit I just told you. We men can separate love from lust. And this is exactly why if a man cheats on his woman that he loves, right? And he cheats on her with a promiscuous woman, the man will not buy that promiscuous woman nothing. The man will not give that promiscuous woman shit, nothing. All right? That's because that woman does not have his heart. Women, you better start fucking listening, because this is also what Kevin Samuels, rest in peace. This is some of what he said, and it is nothing but the truth. Men know how to separate love from lust. That's why when a man cheats on his wife or on his spouse, 9 times out of 10, the man is not gonna buy that woman shit. The man won't even want to be seen with her in the public eye at all. The man doesn't care about her at all. That's because we men only use them for a nut, for a nut, for what I'm saying, for sexual release, and that's it. That's it. Okay, we're not gonna be buying the thotties handbags and paying for their hair and nails and giving them expensive birthday gifts and shit like that. We're not gonna be doing that with the thotties. Only with the women who embrace their femininity, all right? And the women who are obvious mothers and wives, all right? All right? And see, we men, we know how to separate love from lust. The woman does not. All right? The woman does not. Okay? And this, like I said, this is the nail in the coffin. 9 times out of 10, if a man gives a woman a better orgasm than she received before by another man, she's going to leave her old man for the man who gave her a better orgasm. You see what I'm saying? Because the woman doesn't know how to separate the orgasm from actual high vibrational love. The woman doesn't know how to separate the orgasm from the high vibrational love. All right? You guys better wake up. You got and for everybody who got a problem with what I'm saying, I want you to make a rebuttal video with documented forensic biological evidence to refute anything that I stated in this fucking video. All right? All right? And this is graphic, but like I said, I'm going to keep it 100. This is another point that proves women were not meant to have the same amount of sexual partners as men. The woman's vaginal walls have a time clock. The tightness of the woman's vaginal walls have a time clock. And the time clock is usually, you know what I'm saying, in between 20 and 35. Now, with the modern women right now, let's be honest. Let's be honest, shall we? If a woman is a little bit above average or very attractive, in this day and age, she's going to be hooking up with and having sex with athletes, athletes, rappers. You know what I'm saying? Um, she's also may have a child or two. And when you mix all the numbers of rappers, athletes, and male porn stars that she's having sex with, mixed with a child, by the time the woman gets about 30 or 35, her walls are finished. You know what I'm saying? And by that point, you know what I'm saying? There won't be, like, over 95% of men won't even be able to pleasure her with their penises at by that point. And like I said, I know this sounds crazy, but folks, let's really think about it. Let's stop and think about it. A woman who is slightly above average on an attractive scale to very pretty or beautiful in this day and age, you know damn well there's a list of athletes, there's a list of um rappers or wannabe rappers, motherfuckers who, promoting the thug image, and male porn stars that this woman is sleeping with. See what I'm saying? And if the woman has a child or two, all right, that's only going to make it worse. All right, because if she keeps up, that rotation, the wannabe rapper, athlete, male porn star, that, having a child, trust me, at the rate that they go in between the ages of 30 to 35, a lot of women in America, their vaginal walls aren't even tight anymore by the time they're 30 to 35. Now, when you look at a man, see, we men are different. We men are different. As long as we take care of our health, um, we can have sex, we can have erections and have sex and have babies until we're like 50, 55, or 60, sometimes even older. But no, if the average man takes care of his health with an alkaline vegan lifestyle, active, working out in the sun, putting the right things in his body, um we will be able to have long erections and still be able to produce sperm, all right, in between the ages of 55 and 60, all right? So you compare the numbers 55 and 60 to uh 30 and 35. This means that men have a sexual time clock that is 20 to 25 years longer than a woman. A man is born with a sexual time clock that is 20 to 25 years longer than a woman's. All right? And everything I just stated proves that women were never created to have the same amount of sexual partners as men. All right? All right? And we can keep it going, because there's also studies showing that promiscuity in women is causing depression. This is why so many female porn stars, and female OnlyFans girls are committing suicide. All right? You know why? Because after a woman has sex with more than 5 men, I actually say 5 or more. After a woman has sex with 5 or more men, she's unable to pair bond. She is unable to fucking pair bond. You know why? Because after she has sex with the 5th man, that's 5 different microchimerisms in her bloodstream. That's 5 different microchimerisms in her bloodstream, and that's just on a genetic level. See, sex is also metaphysical. So when you look at it from a metaphysical aspect, when she has sex with the 5th man, that's 5 different kundalini frequencies. That's 5 different kundalini frequencies on her aura. All right? And after that happens, she's unable to pair bond. All right? Because once again, women cannot separate love from lust. It has to do with a certain lobe in their brain and how their brain receives dopamine. Okay? And it also has to do with them on a metaphysical level, them being natural magnetic absorbers and reflectors of that Kundalini life force. All right. And after she has five men's frequency on her, she's unable to pair bond with a single man. And you can look this up yourself. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? This is Dr. Prim Global Healthcare. This is on Dr. Prim Global Healthcare. So I didn't pull this out of my ass. See what I'm saying? You won't see shit like this on CNN, Fox, MSNBC, social media, all that bullshit that's ran by warlocks. You see, Snopes and the rest of them, they'll try to, say that this shit is false. But guess what, folks? This is the cold, hard, unfiltered motherfucking truth. All of these facts I listed prove that women were never biologically designed to have the same amount of sexual partners as a man. Like I said, we can go over this again. When a woman gets pregnant, that is 9 months where no other man besides her baby's father, no other man is going to want to have sex with her while she's pregnant. Then in between 2 and 3 weeks after she's pregnant, her vaginal walls have to heal up for those 2 to 3 weeks. So that's an extra 2 to 3 weeks after her pregnancy when she can't have sex. So that's damn near 10 months she can't have sex when she's pregnant. Now, or most men won't want to have sex with her when she's pregnant. Then there's in between 36 and 60 days. There's in between 36 and 60 days when the universe said, woman, you ain't having sex. All right. All right. And that is menstruation. And then we have the scientifically, biologically proved microchimerisms, which proves, every man that they have sex with, they keep their DNA stored in their body for at least 7 years, for at least minimum 7 years. But I heard there, I've read that there were some cases where a man's DNA was found in a woman over 20 years, all right, after it happened. So yeah, you know what I'm saying? And then, we got all of the mainstream media outlets trying to suppress this info. We got Wikipedia calling it a theory when it's been proven by a goddamn official scientific research center, professional fucking scientists and researchers, man. And then, we got Snopes trying to, say it's false. That's because Snopes and the CIA and the FBI and Google and YouTube, they all about promoting feminism. They're all about promoting feminism. And you see, this information goes directly against the narrative and the ideology of feminism. You see, and women being natural magnetic receptors and reflectors of Kundalini energy, they're much more susceptible to receiving negative energy from a negative person or catching an STD than a man, because like I said, when something gets in the vaginal walls, when a frequency gets in there, it's hard to get out. Very hard to get out. They are natural magnetic receivers. All right. All right. Also, women are incapable of separating love from lust because they are controlled through their vaginal orgasms. All right. The vaginal orgasm releases a level of dopamine in the brain. All right. And this triggers the sensation that the woman considers love. All right. The man's brain is different. The man's brain is different. Okay. The man, we know how to separate love from lust. All right. This is why, very rarely will you see a man who is financially well to do who is in love with a woman but cheats on that woman with a thought, you'll rarely see that man leave that woman for that thought. You will rarely, very rarely, see that man leave that good woman for that thought. That's not happening because men know how to separate love from lust. All right? Women can't, most women can't say this because, like I said, if all you got to do is hit the right spot, you know what I'm saying? Stretch the walls out properly, and you know what I'm saying? She'll leave the man who wasn't able to do that completely. All right? This is the cold hard truth, man. This is why we got so many single mothers, and this is proof, cold hard proof, that women were never created to have the same amount of sexual partners as men. Also, the vaginal walls have a time clock. There's only so many athletes, rappers, and porn stars you can screw. There's only so many baby daddies you can have and babies you can pop out, to where your vaginal walls just are not, have no restriction, have no tightness anymore. And you know, most of the time, a promiscuous woman, her sexual value is finished by in between the ages of 30 and 35. All right. As you know, if she's been with over 100, some of these women have been with over 50 or 100 men. All right. Now I know it sounds crazy, but it's the truth. All right. A man, we're able to produce sperm and to have hard erections as long as we take care of our body properly in between the ages of 55 and 60. You know, we're still able to have sex and have children up until the age of 55 to 60. So that means we have women by 20 to 25 years uh of a, you know, of an actual, you know, fulfilling sex life, you know, if we're able to take care of ourselves, you know. And this right here shows that they're, you know, women's brains were not, they, like I said, they were not created to be polygamous creatures. They were not created to be polygamous or promiscuous creatures. They were not. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. I said, if you got any problem with anything I said, you know what I'm saying, you want to debate, we could set up a debate. We could set up a live where people could call in and ask questions. But I know what the fuck I said is facts. I know what the fuck I said is facts. All right? There are certain things that nature created when they made these women that literally proves nature never intended for a woman to have the same amount of sexual partners as a man. Period. Point blank. All right, that's all I had to say on this topic. I hope I was able to answer everyone's questions regarding this topic. I appreciate everyone who supports RFG and Atlantean movement. All right, shout out to all the subscribers out there. I would not be able to do what I do on a consistent basis if it wasn't for all of you. All right, please stay safe out there. I'm gonna try to do a live with callers calling in just for questions they have regarding relationships. All right. So with all that being said, I appreciate all of you. All right. Stay tuned. Peace and love. It's the chosen one. I'm out.